And still, didn't I just say that? That's what it takes sometimes. You take something from me, I'm coming to get it back. Now, you beat me. I say, okay, we had a good night. I'm still coming to get it back. But if you beat me dishonestly, I'm coming to get it back. Pensacola. We talk tonight. Pensacola talk tonight. Roy Jones Jr. to fight on. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Didn't I just say that? Make sure you guys hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel for more boxing. Now, one of the people, I mean, I honestly could say this, and you guys, if you listen to my old work, you'll know that this has been like a huge reason why I even got into boxing. Just the charisma, the speed, the talent level, and that's Roy Jones Jr. Like, y'all must have forgot. Not Virgil with a body shot. Y'all must have, you know what I'm saying? It was just, he was that dude to me, you know what I mean? And he's decided to fight on. He's fighting against Bobby Gunn, who has a record of 21-6-1. Out of those 6 losses, he's been stopped 4 times. Now, the thing that's interesting about this fight is, if you want to call it that, but is Bobby Gunn, he's a bare knuckle boxer or bare knuckle brawler, and he's from Canada. And rumor has it, or the legend is, he's undefeated in bare knuckle brawling, and he has a record of 72-0. Now, it didn't all the way translate into his boxing career. He's lost to guys like Thomas Adamek, also lost to Glenn Johnson, who knocked out Roy Jones. So he's been stopped sometimes. And the first stoppage, Sergio Garcia, I don't even know who that is, but he's fighting at cruiserweight February 21st, Delaware. He's fighting a legend in Roy Jones Jr. Now, I've said this for a while, and this is not throwing shade or disrespect. Roy Jones is my favorite. I just feel like he has nothing else to prove. And if any, he's a hell of a commentator, so it's just like, I don't understand why fighters have this itch to keep going. Now, I don't know too much about Bobby Gunn. Definitely heard the name and stuff like that, but I can't tell you I know all of his pedigree. But we've seen Roy Jones lose to people since, like, I guess you wouldn't say his prime, or Antonio Tarver or whatever, that he clearly wouldn't have lost to in his prime. Guys like Enzo Maccarelli, Macarena, whatever his name is, things like that. So I hope this is it for Roy Jones Jr. Bobby Gunn, again, his pro career didn't really translate to superstardom from the bare knuckle brawling, but maybe the guy has power, and at this point, it looks like Roy Jones' ability to take a shot is not the same. You know what I mean? I think Roy Jones is a guy who relied a lot on his reflexes, his athleticism, and things like that, and also confidence. You got to look at it like, when fighters are confident, that in itself is a weapon, because you don't feel in your heart anyone can beat you. But as soon as you get knocked out, or as soon as you lose badly, or whatever the case may be, that is stripped away from you. So, you know what I'm saying? And now it's kind of like, what it reminds me of is, I went to the casino one time when I was young, and I hadn't really been, this was like when I first turned old enough to go to the casino, and I lost money. I hate losing, very competitive. And then I start taking money out of my ATM, or out of the ATM, to try to win back the money that I already lost. And that's the worst thing you can do. You already lost, you know what I mean, the casino hit you for, let's say, $150. And you're taking out more money, maybe even paying surcharges with your bank and stuff like that, trying to chase the money you already lost. And then what happens when you take out 200 and you lose that? Now you're down 350. You take out another 100, 450. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it is with the boxing game with some fighters, is the more they keep going, the worse it gets. You know what I mean? You look at Roy Jones' record. He's done incredible things in the sport, but if he keeps fighting, then he might, you know what I'm saying, who knows what will happen. He has 9 losses, 5 by KO, in a total of 73 bouts. So it's just like, I don't like to see guys go out like that. So it's kind of cool for Floyd Mayweather to have done what he's done in the sport and kind of go out on his own terms. Nobody took him out. It's not like he started looking horrible, and you normally don't see that with guys. You look at, like, let's say Eric Morales, another one of my favorites growing up, and the game kind of took him out. You know what I mean? He was in there with Danny Garcia, had a competitive fight, but in the rematch he got spun around and knocked out brutally and failed a drug test in that particular fight. So I prefer not to see that with the legends, you know, but it's inevitable in the sport of boxing. So it is what it is. I'm only me, and I can't tell another grown man what to do. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's chasing legacy or feeling you have more to prove, or maybe internally wanting to prove something to yourself. I like Roy Jones Jr. too much to want to keep seeing this. You know what I mean? He already fought a fan this year, or at the beginning of the year, I think it was in Arizona, and he knocked him out. I mean, you've already done, you don't have nothing else to prove. That's what I feel like. Wins like this, and I don't know, maybe the money is enticing. I don't know what the situation is, but like, you're fighting fans, your events aren't as big as they once were, things like that. Beating Bobby Gunn, it doesn't really change how people already view you. People already respect you. You've beaten better people than Bobby Gunn. You moved up to heavyweight, for Christ's sakes. Let me know what you guys think of Roy Jones Jr. continuing to fight. And he's 47 years old too, so it's like, you got to look at it. Bernard Hopkins on his final fight, he's 51, about to be 52 next month. But the difference is, Bernard Hopkins had, even though he lost to Roy Jones Jr., but he went back and beat him, because Roy Jones Jr. has kind of the ability, or excuse me, Bernard Hopkins, based on his style, has the ability to have a longer career. Guys who are counter punchers, guys who take care of their body, guys who have a better grasp of the fundamentals usually have longer careers. Floyd Mayweather, Juan Manuel Marquez, you know what I mean? Guys like Sergio Martinez, Sergio's kind of one of those like anomaly people. But Roy Jones, his specialty was going outside of the box, being unorthodox, being hard to read, having power in both hands. You know what I mean? And so, as soon as some of those slowed up, you've seen some of the fundamentals weren't there. Like, he would do stuff they clearly wouldn't teach you to do, and that made for an awesome career. But after he had his run, you got to see a little bit of the things that he didn't have. Like, Mayweather evolved his style. Pretty Boy Floyd, brittle hands, but he was more offensive. But as he got older, he had to improve his style, work on his accuracy, make sure his defense was always tight and sharp, things of that. But with Roy Jones, it wasn't like that. It was like, when he had his run, he's unstoppable, Mr. Unstoppable. No one could beat him. But then, as soon as the athleticism and stuff went away, he didn't really evolve his style to have longevity. It was just kind of like, he's the same fighter, but just not as fast. Reflexes aren't as quite as there, you know what I mean? And that's why Glenn Johnsons and the Tarver were able to exploit certain things and get knockouts over him. That's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Respect to Roy Jones Jr. I hope he calls it a career after this. Focuses on, he trains fighters. Isaac Chilemba, he just trained him. At one point he was training Jean Pascal. So hopefully focus on the back end stuff. Commentary is great, things of that sort. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.